Sorry if I look a bit unkempt. In fact, I wasn't planning to make a video about this topic. I'm not just one because something is trending. If I don't have something to say, I'll just keep my mouth shut. But I was just watching something on channels, and there's something that the presenter highlighted that really got me upset. And I think we should just stop. We should just stop. Because I'll be talking about people from two different sides of the world, so the audiences watching this may vary. Yes, so I have to do a little intro. First of all, I want to talk about Ochanya. Ochanya was a girl from Nigeria. She was 13 years old, and she was living with a relative when the relative's husband and the son were graping her, and as a result of the complications of the graping, I hope you understand what I mean. I don't want to use some word because of YouTube sanctions. Because of the graping and all that, she eventually lost her life, but not before testifying about what happened, giving a detailed this thing of what happened, how her relation's husband and the son, the adult son in the university, repeatedly abused her. Yes, very sad case, very really sad case. Now, and the second person, for those that don't know too, I want to talk about the second person, Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was an American, very active guy, the leader of, or the owner of, the convener of Turning Points USA, and he was quite vocal in what he said. He stood for things like he was against abortion, he stood for marriage between man and woman, and some controversial issues, some issues that in America those things are in contention. Like now in Africa, we know for sure that a man is supposed to marry a woman. Those things are not those things are coming up, but they're not really an issue. But in America, those things are hot topics, and you now have things like where the people now do gender surgery, gender change surgery, or whatever it's called, gender change surgery. So he used to come, like, he was very vocal about keeping traditional values and preserving traditional values. And unfortunately, on the 10th of September, yes, 2025, this year, he was attacked, and his life was brutally taken away from him. It was a very brutal thing. Now, those two cases are funny. In the history of the world, even in history, let's start with America. Someone like JFK, John F. Kennedy, the former a president of America that was assassinated. When he died, there was the official story that they brought up. People said this was the person that killed him and all. This was the person that made him unalive. I shouldn't be using that word because of YouTube. This was the person that made him unalive and all that. They brought an official report. But at the end of the day, today, people are seriously questioning who exactly took the life of JFK. Also, you have somebody like Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. is also someone that people are wondering what exactly happened to that man. How was he? How did he? Even in Nigeria, we also have our controversies. People like Abiola. Abiola just drank tea, and we never heard of him again. And that was how he went on alive and all that. So things are happening, and people are asking questions now. For Ochanya, after this is 7 years after the case, 2018, she passed away, but they made a video recording of her. Now, the judge, from what I was watching on Channels TV, please correct me if I'm wrong, concerning the case, they are kind of like saying, the judge was saying that there's no evidence, that she's not here to testify. But for crying out loud, a video evidence, it's not like it was manipulated by AI. Even if it was manipulated by AI, you can easily detect. A video evidence detects that she was saying this is what happened. These are the people that were responsible. Also, there was an autopsy on her body that was done. Yes, they say the autopsy has some discrepancies, but I'm not sure. But even if it has some discrepancies, for the fact that she gave a video evidence, she talked about what happened to her, and also the man's wife, that's her relative, the man that was abusing her with the son, the relative today has been charged and for allowing the perpetration to continue. So I don't really understand what's happening, but I don't really want to talk about the legal and technical issues. That's not what I'm talking about. I want to talk about this issue of gaslighting. For crying out loud. First of all, when it comes to mourning, people mourn in different ways. There are some people, when you tell them that somebody has passed away, the first thing they will start doing is they will start laughing. Or they will start frowning. They'll start, so you cannot really tell by how someone reacted. How the person that cries the most is not necessarily the person that misses the person the most. I've lost my father. When I lost him initially, at first, I mourned, but I didn't mourn that much because I was a teenager. You know, as a teenager, you have this carefree attitude. I felt, oh, it was so I could get him. It's someone I could just get over quickly. But sometimes, you know that when I was in the university, I went to get admission in the university. I saw a man and the son. When I saw the man and the son, immediately I remembered my dad. He came for admission with the son, you know, to help the son with admission, and tears came out of my eyes. So things happened that I just find myself mourning him as if he just passed away the day before. So mourning can be prolonged, mourning can be immediate, mourning can people should be allowed to mourn any way they want to mourn. So when some people are saying concerning Charlie Kirk, that his wife Erica did not mourn him the proper way, that is not enough reason to assume that she had anything to do with his passing away. People mourn in different ways, and people need time to process. When it just happened, they just put her into the spotlight. So she didn't really have time to process the issue. But that's not what I want to talk about. The gaslighting I want to talk about is about, for example, concerning this Ochanya's case. You know, some people are saying, oh, she has passed away. She passed away in 2018. Why are you disturbing her spirit, according to some those people? Why are you disturbing her spirit? She has passed away. Let the thing die down. You see the problem with us. The fact that there are so many unexplained assassinations too. Today, even in Nigeria, people like Dele Giwa, till today, I don't think there's any official. We don't know who assassinated Dele Giwa. Dele Giwa was a very popular journalist in I think it was in the 80s, 90s. For those that don't know, was a Nigerian journalist that they sent him a letter bomb, and till today we don't know who sent the letter bombs. There've been speculations and all that, but today we are not sure. So one thing that will bring closure, because if you lose someone, there's always a part of yourself that will be wondering that did this person transit naturally, or did something happen? For example, a close relative of mine that passed, there was another. Some people were saying that they made him unalive, that they were tired of looking after him because he was ill and he went to the village to get help from his relatives. Some people were saying that they made him unalive because they were tired of looking after him. So there are many unanswered questions. If, for example, someone now comes and wants to find out exactly what happened to him, my relation that has passed away, I'll be interested. So now, concerning Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, she's a journalist. And she's not a journalist really, she's an active YouTuber, but she really does deep dives into issues. She's more like a journalist, you know, but she doesn't go to places, but she really does a lot of online researches. She's now like, she's not satisfied with the official statement or the official conclusion on what happened to Charlie Kirk. So she's now trying to find out what's happening, and I think she has a right to. It's not even a thing of whether, even if I had a friend, some people are saying that they are no longer friends, that they were friends in the past. Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens, they were friends in the past. Nobody has proof. She has text of they were texting each other this year, so they were friends at least till this year, 2025. And for finding out, when you are somebody's friend, it doesn't mean that you have to keep in touch with the person every day. I have friends that people I'm close to, we don't get in touch maybe once a year. Sometimes a whole year will pass and we'll not get in touch, but we are still friendly. As in, when I say friends, you know, I don't have friends officially. For those that want to know, I put it in an earlier video. But I mean, people you could describe as you when you see them, you just take up from where you left. The time I used to have friends, close friends, and friends particularly, if I don't meet someone for a while and I meet them again, fine, we'll just continue the relationship. There are some people like that. You don't need to meet them every day. Once you meet them, it's like you just met them the day before. You just connect instantly. So whether anybody likes it or not, Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk, they had a very close relationship. And now she wants to know. That is her natural disposition. We all know Candace. She doesn't take things at face value. Yes, and she has over time, we have been able to see that some things she says, not everything, some things she says, over time you find out that she was right. Concerning this COVID thing, concerning this 2020, she said things that now is now mainstream. When she said it was as if, oh, there was something wrong with her. Even the Black Lives Matter issue, there were things that she was uneasy about, that people didn't want her to talk, but she said it. And today, we now know that some things are not what they appeared, but that's not what I want to talk about. Now, concerning the Ochanya, a little girl, she was 13, a teenager. She never had a chance to really understand life. First of all, she was sent to work, to stay with a relative. If the relative allowed the husband to do that to her, imagine what they put her through domestically. I'm sure she was almost like a slave. I'm not saying it was the case, but if you can allow someone to be abused that way. You can allow them to go through other kinds. So I'm sure she did really enjoy her life. This was a girl that did nothing. She didn't ask to be born. Her parents couldn't take care of her and they sent her somewhere else. That's another thing we also have to talk about. We have to talk about parents. Parents. People should be take care of the children they are ready to have. That's just people should have the children that they can take care of. Sometimes it happens, things happen along the line. I'm not saying all the time, but as much as possible, people shouldn't be giving birth to children just because it's trending or other people are giving birth. You give birth. You should have plans for your children. I'm not blaming Ochanya's parents, but I'm just saying things in general. So the Ochanya is the least to blame in the whole issue, and now she's the one that had to suffer after being serially raped by that man, her relative's husband and the son. She has now passed away from complications. So what is there? Why is it still delaying? Why did it have to take 7 years? Now there's an issue that somebody in the case is nowhere to be found. Somebody has absconded. You can imagine. And it's always in Nigeria, there's a lot of, when it comes to the judiciary, I don't know. I think lawyers, they should check themselves. If I was a lawyer, I'll feel really bad. I would feel really bad. They have made a bad reputation of the law profession in Nigeria. That's what's the truth. You always hear of so many things, justice being delayed or even denied. Things that are so clear. I mean, why are we still talking about this? She passed away in 2018. This is 2025. Why are we still talking about this? Why are the people guilty? Why have they not been put away? Why have they not been put away? Why are some people sacred cows? Why do these things keep on happening and we accept it? I don't know. Really, I'm just tired. But whatever they need to do, please, justice should be served. And nobody should gaslight the family that, oh, she has already passed away. They should move on. If you move on, you are trying to encourage the next potential rapist that is okay. Yes. Or the potential abuser that is okay. And that is not something we want to do, please. So please, whatever needs to be done should be done, and nobody should gaslight anybody. If you lose a loved one or a friend, like Candice and Charlie Kirk, they were very close. They were extremely close even before he met his wife. So she had a relationship with him, as in a friendship with him. The same thing. So she has a right. But the fact that they were close once upon a time to investigate further. There's nothing. Well, she doesn't have to be his wife, or she doesn't need to have dated him to be interested. I mean, what's happening? Even the Ochanya asking, why shouldn't the brother and the family, why shouldn't they follow this case to the end? Please, I didn't want this video to be this long, but please, Nigerians, please, world, please, people, stop gaslighting people. Let people mourn the way they want to mourn, and so that they have the necessary closure. If people can do something to make a difference to the society, so that people that do evil, they don't continuously have the opportunity to get away with it, please give them the opportunity to do it. If you are too cowardly to do it, then leave them. Just give them the opportunity, for crying out loud.